Welcome back. Thanks for checking in. Got a doozy of a news story that I saw that I wanted to talk about real quick. This won't be a long one, but saw this in the Daily Mail about a story over in Europe. And I wanted to talk about this because sometimes, and you'll see in a second, I get the sense that some of these stories that pop into the mainstream, and as you're about to see with this one, where you're just kind of looking at the story, you're reading through it, and you're just like, what? Like, how gone is society? Like, what the fuck am I even reading right now? And it does seem like the mainstream will go to, whether I don't know necessarily if the writer of this article's, I'm not saying they're aware of it, but the mainstream in general goes to lengths to conceal what, in my opinion, seems to be crimes tied into things the mainstream doesn't want to really talk about, kind of like that fourth wall they don't want to go to. And that's, when you see crimes that are involving cannibalism, the occult, potentially Satanism, crimes involving children as well. They never really tie those things together, and they will go to diversion tactics to say, oh, this is, they call this some sort of body dysmorphia cult. So I just wanted to go through this real quick because it's clear to me that this has all the markings of a lot of the occult stuff that you do hear about or read about, as far as torturing and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and get into this article real quick here. And so you can see by the title, the ringleader of this extreme body modifications cult, which is a ridiculous name, who made $400,000, I think that is, from a pay-per-view website this guy was running. The ringleader of an extreme body modification cult, live streaming videos of genitals being removed, legs. This guy, Marius Gustavsson, 46, carried out these crimes, but he had a lot of people with him. The group, which included a nurse, 48-year-old Nathan Arnold, had 22,000 paying subscribers, which is just insane to think about, that there are that many sickos out there and that are watching stuff like this and paying for it as well. They conducted their sick trade completely out in the open, with a public website accessible to anyone who stumbled upon it. Gustafsson headed the business and was described as an arc manipulator who collected a group of, I don't know what that word, acolytes, attracted to the deviant business, according to the prosecutors, by the sexual element of the offending and financial gain. This dude, this stuff is just, it just sounds like Jeffrey Dahmer. The Norwegian kept a freezer full of men's body parts and cooked himself a testicle salad for lunch. He froze his own leg off and had his penis removed before claiming, whatever, thousands of dollars in disability benefits while living in North London. So this is a picture of this ghoulish creature who was apparently the ringleader of this cult. And here's the website that they ran. Apparently just completely out in the open. It wasn't on the dark web or anything. Unbelievable. So he's got to serve at least 22 years. I guess they got sentenced the other day. 6 other members. And here's what, you see, like, these aren't just some regular, these are, people who are very well educated and probably well off. You have a retired chemist, Peter Waits, who was involved in 9 procedures, was jailed for 12 years. Chemist. That was Jeffrey Dahmer's father was a like a chemist as well. Interesting. Former surgical assistant David Caruthers, 61, who kept his own testicles in his chest freezer. What the fuck? Was jailed for 11 years, while his husband, Ashley Williams, was jailed for 4 years and 6 months for helping himself remove a testicle from Janice Aitken, 39. So these two removed the nuts of this guy, Janet. This is just such strange. And this guy who had his nuts removed by these two, if you're following along, Aitken, who studied veterinary science and was involved in 8 procedures, was jailed for 12 years. Man, that's just crazy. German Stefan Scharf was jailed for 4 years and 6 months. Again, removing another testicle from a man in this Gustavuson's flat. And this other guy was jailed for 5 years. So the ringleader was previously a postman. He was getting disability benefits. He sold, who the fuck? So crazy when you read this stuff. He was selling penises online for I don't know, what's that, like $1,000? I don't know. Sorry if my exchange rate's off. The practice is linked to a subculture where men become nulos, short for genital nullification. I don't even know what that is. The men claim blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Gustavusson electrocuted the genitals of a 16-year-old and possessed indecent images of children in bestiality porn. So, body modification cult my ass. In one message, he claimed to have castrated and had sex with it. You can read that there. And I guess this is some of the exchanges you could have come to expect on the website. Just... I'm not even going to read those. Just disgusting. So here's one of the nurses admitted removing part of. So I guess he got his nuts removed, this guy, and then took off Gustavusson's nipple. It's fun times. So the judge said, Gustavusson, you were very much the mastermind behind this grisly and gruesome enterprise. It was a business which was both busy and lucrative. Yeah, so he came to the UK from Norway around 2012. Through his website, began to advertise the so-called body modification procedures. Many of the procedures carried out were filmed and over time were produced to an increasingly professional standard. The website ran for 3 years. Almost 23,000 users. And all of these fucking people here, man, if we lived in a legitimate, reality with a real criminal justice system, every single one of these people would be thoroughly investigated and vetted to see what the fuck that they had going on, because this is some really disgusting, gruesome stuff. The footage uploaded was extremely explicit and made available to paying subscribers, no doubt, so they could watch it for their sexual gratification. Just an interesting, because a lot of this filming stuff, this subscriber stuff, that's been around for a long time. If you look a lot at the previous, cases, and a lot of people have speculated, speaking of Dahmer, that, that's what kind of operate, although he was deemed as this, lone wolf serial killer, a lot of people believe that he was part of a network, and most likely a lot of those procedures, drilling into spinal cords and all that strange stuff was being filmed, and probably some similar setup as here. You go back and look at some of those Dahmer's photographs from his apartment. You can see even back then, early 90s, he had like, high-end security cameras in the corners of his apartment. But back to this story. So yeah, this guy was running this website for 3 years. It was a large-scale, dangerous, and extremely disturbing enterprise. Yeah, all the procedures were carried out by the medically unqualified environments far from sterile. They were conducted in amateurish and dangerous ways. In some instances, it is a little more than human butchery. In some cases, medical equipment is used. In others, normal household implements were used. And some equipment was used, which is usually used to castrate livestock. In many of the film procedures, the consequences of severe blood loss, and many are in clear and acute pain. You think? One is heard on film saying he does not want to die. 400 hours of footage these cops had to go through. And here is one of these creatures here. Look at this guy. He's got the fucking cow ring on. Ashley, oh, this is the one dude's husband. Look at this clown. And these are those two guys. They're mugshots. Oh, and here the prosecutor says it's an incredible feature of this case that the website operated in plain sight, not on the dark web, but accessible to anyone who stumbled upon it and had the inclination to view the gruesome footage. It's just insane that this guy is running this just free. Anybody can find this website out in the open for 3 years. It's just, it's like you can't even. Just incredible. The footage, which is extremely explicit, was uploaded to eunuchmaker.com. Users could pay subscribers or buy additional videos. Gustafsson recruited like-minded individuals to assist him in his large-scale, dangerous, and disturbing enterprise. Yeah, look at this. I mean, this is Dahmer 101. After one of his operations, Gustafsson cooked severed testicles for lunch, which he ate in a salad he prepared for himself. Yes, the prosecutor added, there is also, we say, clear evidence of cannibalism. This is one of the guys, 5 years. Just some crazy shit. And Gustafsson would hold auctions to see, I was talking about earlier about selling the penises online, would hold auctions to sell body parts, and men would be sent a penis along with the video of it being cut off. The website had basic, premium, VIP membership options. Police found a wide variety of tools, clamps, forceps, scalpels, on and on. In one incident in Gustafsson's home, he and a man were seen playing a staged dice game to determine what body parts are removed. Nice. Talks about one of the incidents going sideways. They had to call police. And that's, I guess, how this started, this whole thing here. And kind of mix this in at the end of the article. But I'm not really buying that. These are people in the occult. That's what this is. And they'll dress it up as body, modification cult and this and that, instead of just calling what this is. You have this guy. I mean, what different is this guy? He's eating freezing body parts, selling genitalia online. And the biggest sentence, this guy's got to serve 20-something years. And the rest of the guys got, less than 5 years. It's just insane. I don't, I've mentioned before, another thing they cover up is and I'm not saying this is the case with this one, because I haven't really looked at these people specifically past this news story. But a lot of the times, not only the occult, Satanism, but also that there are this is probably just a node on a network, but they don't want to start going down that road. But thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Have a good one.